What weird thing would you make socially acceptable if you could? Asking a potential employer what the salary for a position is before jumping through 50 hoops with the application interview process, only to find out the pay is crap. It's the first question I ask, or I'm out. If you can't give me the salary range, you're a time waster. I went through the hoops once and got all the way through the process and they tried to lowball me. They kept ducking, sidestepping the salary question. When they made their offer, I declined and said they are offer way less than my current position. They said this will put me on their no hire list. That made me chuckle. So the threat of never being working for your company is supposed to make me want to work for your company at lower pay and benefits, especially when I was upfront about my salary expectations. Bullet dodged. Calling out customers for being rude. I had a job as a teller at a credit union back in college, and I will always say the manager I had was one of the best I've ever had. I once had a lady who kept asking me for a new credit card and handed me her debit card. I looked on her account and said there is no credit card. There's a debit card, which is what this is. But that's the only card on this account. I can issue you a new one, no problem. But if you want a credit card, you'll have to fill out an application. She was adamant that what she had was a credit card. No matter what I told her, she said it was a credit card and demanded a new one. At one point she said, "Are you stupid or something?" To which my manager overheard and pushed me out of the way and said, "You will not speak to him that way, and if you're going to continue behaving this way, you're going to have to leave. I will not tolerate you speaking to my employees like that." I wish more managers were like her. Destroy the thought of the customer is always right. Edit, thank you for the hugs. Just complete the quote. In matters of taste. And then look at them like they're a moron for not knowing the actual quote. I'm a guy and I get a lot of flack for complimenting people's clothing. I don't think it's weird, but apparently it means I must like men. If you got nice shoes, I'm going to say they're nice shoes. As a woman who is dating a man who is very fashion forward and compliments things like that constantly, I highly encourage this. Compliments from women about your clothes is one thing, because we compliment everything and your dog, but from a man, just hits different. Being able to move your body more in everyday situations. It is often socially expected to sit and wear clothing which makes it impossible to move. I would like to be able to randomly squat, stretch and the like. Draping myself in velvet. A George. Divided against itself. Cannot stand. Complimenting other men. Nice cock. Thanks. It helps get the hens to lay. Being able to be honest about how you feel without being bullied or belittled. Being able to sit in silence with someone without it being awkward. People shouldn't feel obligated to come up with conversation. It makes interacting stressful. I do not believe in awkward silences. Talk about something when it comes to you, and conversations will feel way more real and interesting when you're able to sit in silence with someone comfortably. I feel it shows you enjoy their company. Me and my best friend sometimes do this. We order food a lot and find a deserted place, usually the roof of some building, and just sit there eating. Most of the time we talk, but those moments of tranquility and peace are really nice. He was the best friend I ever had. We still don't talk sometimes. Being able to just wave or say hi to people you hardly know. There's nothing worse than an awkward 5-minute catch-up chat at the store with someone I haven't seen in years. "Hey, sorry, I'm kind of in a rush, but you look great and it was nice bumping into you. Have a great day." Proceed to run into them 3 more times in the same store. Just look like you're intensely shopping. Sitting on the floor or anywhere really. Cashiers need to be allowed to sit. The fact that most places won't let them is a load of BS. If other people are at my house having fun, but I'm tired, I just want to be able to go to bed, but they can stay and have a good time. Had a friend's dad that would say, "Well, we'd better get to bed so these people can go home," when he was ready to call it quits. I just go upstairs when I'm done with whatever is going on. The wife is the social butterfly and remains to entertain. It's usually about the time the drama starts or the kids start getting whinny. I'm an introvert, so she counts it as a win when I drop in to say hi. My dad doesn't say anything at all. He just disappears. Later, You'll find him watching reruns of CSI Miami in his room munching on gummy candies. He doesn't care. One time my Phil drove 2 hours to meet us at a park. Upon getting there and greeting everyone, he set up a chair for his wife and then said, "Welp, see you guys later," and left. He has done this sort of thing numerous times, but that was the one where I wasn't annoyed but actually impressed. The confidence to say "duck it, I'm gonna bounce" is admirable in a strange to thine own self be true kinda way. People in the service industry should be able to tell a customer when they are being an asshole. My old boss from when I worked retail flat out told me on my first day that so long as I wasn't being a total dick, he would always have my back. If a customer was being an ass and I didn't bend over backwards for them, he banged a few people from the store over their antics while I was there, and blew a couple Karens' minds when he told them to shut up and act their age when they tried their usual screaming fest. I loved that job. That's awesome. When I was a lifeguard, my boss was the same way. Thankfully in that line of work the customer isn't always right, but it was still a great feeling to know your job wasn't at risk if Karen went berserk. I once had a guy totally flip his lid because a new cashier took his money 10 minutes before free swim started, but I wouldn't let him and his daughter in the pool because it was still that swim. He ended up storming into my boss's office and complaining for over 15 minutes. Afterwards my boss called me in and said, "If anyone asks, I'm reprimanding you. Great job handling that situation. Keep up the good work." Staying silent if you don't really have something to say. Openly talking about your finances with other people. A lot of people don't realize they're underpaid because nobody talks about wages. It's so bizarre to me that it's a taboo subject. We all rely on money in some form. Let's just discuss it. Edit. This comment blew up. I just wanted to state that finances in my view include things like how much debt you have, what your rent and other bills are, how much you have saved, etc. I can see how there would be negatives to discussing your salary with coworkers or family, but in my opinion, the negatives brought up that I've read from replies don't bother me. The people who would be offended or have expectations of me are not people that I would end up highly valuing their opinion. If I'm doing better than a family member or friend and they need help, I'll help them. But if they are jealous, greedy or generally not supportive, then I don't need them in my life. In Sweden you can view anyone's salary online. I was weirded out when I first found out, but now I really like the transparency. It helps workers bargain. If anything, keeping salaries a secret is more advantageous to employers than employees. I would like to make it socially acceptable to tell employers that you're only in it for the money, and it being a legitimate answer. What am I supposed to tell employers? That I have always wanted to work at a part-time job and get yelled at by Karens so I could just make ends meet? Edit spelling. Yes, like you have to act like your 9-5 job is your passion and comes before everything else. I'm an executive assistant because it's easy and decent pay. That's it. No passion. Not my dream. Just a job. Having your work ethic, not your ass kissing skills, prioritized and appreciated, both in jobs and school. Dressing however you want. Makeup, dresses, medieval cloaks, whatever you want, regardless of gender too. That'd be nice. I think people should be able to wear whatever they want, as long as it covers things most people don't want to see. Just walk around in cosplay if you want to. I wish everyone felt comfortable to dress however they would want to. Neutral facial expressions. People act like anything that isn't definitely a smile is some sort of insult. Another reason to appreciate masks. What's the matter? Absolutely nothing. This is my face. Short naps at work. Happily, now that I work from home thanks COVID, this has become a reality for me. I'm not a big napper, but I get cold a lot, so I love working at home and taking a hot bath while watching a tutorial about something I have to build for work and clocking it. I'm hoping when things get back to normal, they'll be more open to us WFH more. Eating alone at a restaurant or a solo movie trip. I mean, sort of limited now due to COVID, but before COVID, when people would hear of me doing that, They said they felt terrible and how depressing that sounds. I'm like, why? Just another day for me. Doesn't feel weird or anything. It's quite nice to get away from constant chats and have a nice quiet meal while being out and about. I just ate at the bar. Pretty much every place lets you do that. You can watch TV, look at your phone, and have a meal in peace. I used to do this before going to see a movie alone. I loved it. I really miss a nice solo night out to recharge. Wearing cloaks Lord of the Rings style. Duck jackets. All my homies wear medieval cloaks. I dig this idea. Outfits can be so boring. I want to go out dressed like the Mandalorian or something. Staying home when sick. I really hope this pandemic would improve that mindset. But no, people still think you're a lazy pose if you stay home when you're sick. I have always genuinely gotten mad when people came to work sick. A long time ago I was a restaurant manager and I just didn't understand why my GM insisted sick people came in and hack all over all the food. We were almost never truly understaffed. I moved to a corporate call support job and thought it would be better. Nope. People were afraid of losing their jobs, so they came in no matter what, because it was expected. Even when it resulted in exponentially more sick people, which led to a loss in productivity. We were a freaking software company where every employee technically had full remote capabilities, yet it took a frigging global pandemic to normalize working from home. Taking a social timeout without having to smoke or occupy the bathroom. My work day is 8 hours. It's an open plan office. Lunch is social, and I have at least an hour commute per day. That's at least twice my maximum social energy per day. Commenting on this while occupying my work's restroom to take a break from people. Really wish I could just tell my boss, I need a few minutes. Edit Jesus Christ my inbox. 4-day work weeks. This is madness. There seems to be more people excited about wearing capes than implementing 4-day work weeks. We need a 32-hour work week with no pay cut. I think productivity would stay the same. Being awake late at night and sleeping all morning. I've been like this since I was a kid. Circadian rhythm is just backwards. Can't fall asleep before 3. I wish people didn't treat me like I'm lazy or something. I'm a pretty productive guy. I just get my work done while you are all asleep. I hate the judgment for sleeping in. Like, dude, I get my best sleep from 4 AM 10 AM. I'm not a bum, I just don't sleep like normal human. Eat a wow, I did not expect this comment to blow up. Nice to see so many people relate. Thanks for the award. Staying completely silent in other people's company. It's nice that it's completely accepted and really common here in Finland, since everyone hates small talk. I wish that people would stop conflating women not wearing makeup with being unprofessional. I worked in a place where a girl was told she looked unprofessional when she didn't wear makeup. Yikes. Next day she should come in with clown makeup. LOL. That would been awesome. She was pretty snarky in her response, which I appreciated. Wearing shorts at work during summer. Why wear pants when you could be more comfortable? Edit, thanks for the gold. I worked in an office where shorts were allowed but not jeans. CEO had some weird anti-denim hang up. Eater no jorts, and no denim skirts either. I quit after 3 months for many other reasons. Yes, siestas. In the middle of the workday. Wearing nicer clothes than normal for no reason. Yes, I'm usually in jeans and a shirt at work. Yes, today I decided to wear a suit. No, I don't have a job interview or have to go to court. Sometimes I just want to dress up. No reason. Just for myself. I live in a small town and people actually wear their pajamas out to the store. When I used to go to the bar, I'd be the only one in heels. I love going to the city so I can dress nice and not be stared like I'm odd and feel like I'm trying too hard. Running in public to get to places quicker. Just look at your watch every so often. People will assume you are running late for something. That's why it's called running late. A. Terribly sorry. D. Not wanting to hustle or making someone else rich. I don't want to put in 60 work hours so I can have a materially successful life. Walking my pig on a leash. When my dog was a puppy, we met a guy walking his pig on a leash. My dog was so confused. He just rolled over and showed it his belly. Being able to take a day off because you just want to as opposed to having to come up with an excuse. Edit. Congrats to everyone who has a great job and great company that allows them to call out whenever for whatever reason. My team is very small and I'm one of 2 in my role, so I always need a legitimate reason to not show up. I wish it were different, but it's what I've got to do to pay my bills. If it's anything, I do enjoy my job for the most part. For myself in the UK there's a bit in the leave application for details, but everyone leaves it blank. No boss cares, unless it might duck up a project. The eyes telling you how much you owe in taxes. The eyes wants to do this. They are blocked by lobbying from the tax accounting industry. In virtually every situation in which you ask why aren't we doing this obvious thing that's obviously better, the answer is corporate lobbyists. Heck, the reason daylight savings time isn't permanent, that is we stop falling back, is largely due to TV lobbyists who wanted to get dark early, so we sit at home watching TV. Frilly dresses for adults. Am I the only one? I loved wearing them at Christmas and Easter as a little girl. Now I feel like I can't get away with it. Satin, lace, pastel colored ruffles, puffy sleeves, embroidered flowers and ribbons, a skirt that flies out when you spin around, maybe even a corset. Looks silly on a grown woman, especially if everyone else is wearing blue jeans and shirts. I sure miss dressing up like that though. Not being always productive and not devoting one's life to making money.